if you agree with MAGA 5%, the answer you get is welcome, right? Come join us, right? On the left, if you disagree 5%, they go, get out of here, you're a right-winger, you're a fascist. The left loves to attack one another.
And yet, here you are, Cenk, telling the entire right wing that all you want to do is break bread with them, that you want to debate with them, but afterward you want to go have a beer.
Yes, I do.
You want to have a beer with people who want to
but nevertheless they want to talk to the left.
But you had to make it's because they think that your
version of the left says, no way, we never talk to the other side. But we're not authoritarian.
Cenk, that's not true.
We're not authoritarian. You're not allowed to disagree 1%, but we're not authoritarian. We have no power, so we're not authoritarian.
They cannot handle the dissent, guys. This is what happens when you go up against the radical left. Okay, they're ready to destroy you, and this is a prime example. They keep trying to create this wedge between Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and even throwing in Vivek Ramaswamy up in there. Guys, it's not gonna work, okay? The MAGA coalition is too strong, it's too powerful. But the Democrats, oh man, they're cooked. You got the traditional liberals, which is, I'd say, probably the majority of people still. You got these loud and proud weirdos on the radical left. And you even got the kind of more traditional progressive left, like the Bill Maher's and Cenk Uygur types. These people can't get along to save their damn life and to win any elections. That's why they got cooked in 2024. You even got the old guard versus the new guard, like the AOCs of the world versus the Nancy Pelosi's. And of course, the old guard doesn't want to let go of that tight grip on power. So they crushed pathetic AOC because she was in over her head. And this is a prime example, guys, because we got Francesca here from the Bitchuation Room. This is a prime example, guys, of what happens because this Francesca lady is a complete radical leftist. She doesn't like the fact that Cenk is even associating with right-wingers, much less talking to them, agreeing with them about anything, talking about having beers with them. They're like, no, they're Nazis. We hate them. Why the hell do you think that you can talk to them? Who the hell do you even think you are? Having the amount of influence that you have and daring to talk to these people and uplift their thoughts and viewpoints and humanize them and all of these things that they don't want to do. There's a reason why I call them radical, guys. Without further ado, let's go ahead and react to this conversation that they had.
You were on TPUSA's on Turning Point USA's conference, and Charlie Kirk, here is him asking you about left media. And I gotta say, Cenk, this one sucked real hard for me. And you also, I think, have been using these opportunities to talk a lot about the left to the right.
I think the left has some work to do in developing over-the-top media to be able to bypass the main networks.
Yeah, so
let's not forget that they had Joe Rogan and they kind of fumbled the bag on that one.
We have TYT as a giant network, but we have a lot of great progressive and populist shows that are not part of TYT that's in the left-wing ecosystem. If you agree with MAGA 5%, the answer you get is welcome, right? Come join us, right? On the left, if you disagree 5%, they go, get out of here, you're a right-winger, you're a fascist, right? But if you push enough people out and you guys welcome enough people in, eventually you win the popular vote. That's what I warned them about, and that's what happened, right?
I mean, where's the
Okay,
lie?
so there you are, and you know.
Yeah, love it. Stick with 100% of what I just said there.
Yeah.
I'm 100% right.
He's
about
right.
that. So let's discuss.
But on the 5%, if you disagree with MAGA 5%, they still welcome you. How did that work out for Liz Cheney?
Yeah.
What?
So look,
Help me! Help me!
is there a part of MAGA that'll push you out?
Yeah, bro, you're talking about the warmonger. Nobody really likes the Cheneys. And she doesn't disagree 5%. She supported Kamala Harris.
I have never voted for a Democrat, but this year I am proudly casting my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris.
You know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke.
Kamala Harris is disagreeing with you 1,000%. How dare you say that? Francesca, you had it right putting bitchuation in the name. Bitch is right.
Of course. That's what we know MAGA for in the beginning.
When do they push you out, Cenk? When do they push you out?
Largely when you disagree with Trump.
Exactly.
So listen,
this is the thing that it's the unspoken thing that you're never saying, that ultimately it's all hunky-dory. Elon can tweet back at you. Vivek can listen to you. But if you defy Donald Trump, the God Emperor, you're kicked out of the castle. And no one's defending Liz Cheney. Screw both their castle and the other castle. But Liz Cheney voted with Donald Trump 98% of the time, and just the 1%.
Yeah, she also tried to screw him over in the January 6th committee and then joined Kamala Harris's coalition and was responsible with her daddy for this whole weapons of mass destruction fiasco. Okay, like literal war criminals. This is not a good example to bring up.
When she was like, hey, you know what? You can't do a coup on this country. And Adam Kissinger, and they were gone. So miss me with this 5% BS.
This lady's delusional.
So, all right, Franny, a whole bunch of things here. So, number one, you're right. That's definitely how Turning Point started. Daily Wire certainly started that way. I don't know what their current funding is, but they seem to have a lot more funding than any of us do. So you're right, and I have said that in the past, and I probably should have put that in there in that particular appearance, and I will mention that, and that'll really grate on their nerves, but I've got no problems telling their audience, and I tell them all the time, no, you guys have way more money, and they're always shocked by that. And I'm like, because they're swimming in money and don't realize how much we're starving.
I think the point is that, yeah, maybe you guys don't have the money, but the Democrat Party and the mainstream, the lamestream, the legacy news, the fake news, they got all the money. So when you pretty much got on the right, you got Fox News, and that's pretty much it. You don't have nothing else. And Fox News isn't perfect either in terms of being conservative leaning. But you got CNN, MSDNC, regular NBC, ABC, CBS, and probably a bunch more that I can't even think of. That's just some of the stuff on TV. That's without talking about the Associated Press, New York Times, LA Times. There's a bunch of people that they write the articles on the internet and publish everything to every social media platform, all left wing. On the right, what do you have? You have Fox News and a sprinkle of Joe Rogan and Elon Musk. So what the hell are you talking about? They're not looking at the big picture on purpose. Let's keep going.
You're on the left. Right.
Sure.
So, and I talked on Tim Pool's show about that, etc. Now, when it comes to the 5%,
Tim Pool's not a right winger either. Like, they just call him that because, again, Cenk's 5% rule is correct.
I started the largest progressive network. I've given dozens of progressives opportunities they didn't have before. I started Just Democrats, etc., etc. The minute I disagree, like 5% on trans issues or crime, everybody's like, right wing, fascist, right wing. Almost every show is saying that. Almost every show. So you're telling me that you don't push people out? You're pushing out the movement overall. At least the online left movement seems to be trying to push out the one network that has helped progressives more than any other network, and it's not in dispute. But my God, we have 5% disagreement. So tear it down. This is the destructive extreme left. That I honestly, that portion, that kind of destructive attitude is poison. It's not just poison to us, it's poison to our chances of winning.
I mean, well, this is what you guys did. You remember all that Nazi and fascist talk and MAGA extremist talk? I mean, this is what TYT was doing. I mean, sure, you could say that they were doing it to people on the right, but when you radicalize people like that, what do you think is going to happen when they don't have anywhere else to turn? Or when you agree with one or two things with the people who you're saying are these crazy extremists and bigots and racists and all of these things, if you agree with one of those things, then it's like, oh my God, how could you? These people are unhinged, and it's By design, by your design.
Because we keep pushing people out, we keep pushing people out, and then all of a sudden we lost all the swing states and we lost the popular vote. I'm trying to get our side to wake up, snap out of our hypnosis of we hate, and we hate the right wing, and they're all white supremacists, and they're all racist, and they're all sexist, and we hate, and we never go in the room with them. We hate. What the hell happened to us? And no one's allowed to disagree. We're now authoritarian. No.
Wait,
I
Cenk,
rebel.
can I just clarify?
I will never allow the left to be authoritarian, and this idea of just hating the other side is poison.
You know what's so funny about you calling the left authoritarian?
Here we go. How much you want to bet she's about to try to bring up a deflection and ignore everything that Cenk just said. Let's get it.
Is that you think the left has power? Like, I love that you think
total nonsense.
We are on the precipice of real authoritarianism and real fascism. And you believe that the online left are the authoritarians? I mean, I don't know how to tell you. You sound like Bill Maher and Nancy Pelosi had a kid, and it came out Cenk Uygur. And let me just ask you though. Let me just ask you. So what?
Didn't they literally shut down the Hunter Biden laptop story? Social media colluded with the White House. It wasn't. What are you talking about? You couldn't even post. You couldn't post nothing about the pandemic, and you couldn't post nothing about Hunter Biden's laptop that they said was fake. 51 intelligence agents said it was fake. You couldn't post nothing about it. You get your account shut down, suspended, get everything removed permanently. But they don't have no power.
I worry about our relationship because I mean I don't. You
probably should.
I don't have to. Like, I remember Hank and like the fact that he helped start the TYT union and now has obviously
with nothing.
Okay, but I knew Hank was such a great guy, and Emma and Ben are such. I'm just saying. I'm telling you, these are. But okay, how I'm afraid, man. Like I'm next. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do. That I'm booted out of the castle.
Girly. You're doing it right now. Maybe you might want to quit while you're ahead.
And suddenly it's us versus them. And so what does it say about TYT? What does it say about you? That there's so many former employees who are on our side ostensibly, who you have so much disdain for.
So Franny, if you're next and I have this secret nefarious plan to push people out, why am I on here? Why would I come on here and talk to you for now nearly 2 hours when if I'm planning to push you, that doesn't make any sense. So number two, this
is leftist shit for brains. Excuse my language, but this is the reality, guys.
So is that everybody? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay. This whole thing of like Sam, for example, analogized me to a Nazi, but he's done 1,000 things. That's just one of them. And then when I go, hey, hold on. When I say cut that crap out, and they're like, oh, we're the victims. Oh, wait, I just said you were a grifter and that you're lying to people and you're cheating people. And I said you might be a Nazi and you're definitely a right winger, but I'm the innocent one. I can't believe Cenk counterattacked after I punched him in the face 20 times. I can't believe. I just don't have to go on his stupid show and agree with his stupid ideas.
Okay, but you just, again, stupid. Again, these are words that you reserve.
Okay,
why do you?
Franny, if I called you a Nazi and I said you're a right winger and you're secretly taking money from Pelosi and Charlie Kirk, then hey, and you said hey, and you got angry with me, wouldn't that be a rational reaction?
I think there's been a conflation with
reaction be, oh, I love Cenk. I love that he called me a Nazi. I can't wait to work with him. No, he's a freaking grifter.
We're all massive Cenk fans. I think we all are a little bit. And so I just want to say, like, it is sad to us to see you honestly act like very small when in fact you could be a lot bigger.
So Franny, I think you're being unbelievably unfair. So you're taking 6 people, 4 of whom are like clearly doing it for money, okay, and clearly doing it for attention. And
I'm not taking anyone. I'm asking you a question.
You accuse me of incredibly unfair things. Can you allow me to respond? Franny, you know the people inside TYT, they work here 15 years, 17 years, 20 years, 17 years, and they love working at TYT. And what these assholes are doing is pretending that we're bad bosses and we're bad to our employees and we're bad to everyone that works at TYT and we do all these things and we push them out. Bullshit. Every one of those people left and they said, oh, I'm going to be bigger and better than you. And then they viciously attacked not just me, but everyone that works at TYT. Why do you think Edwin and Bart and all those guys have been there for so long? We gave people 12 weeks of paid family leave when no one else was doing it. And we did it for moms. We did it for dads. I mean, I can go on and on. Franny, to make it seem like I'm pushing people out and that I'm the bad guy here, when in fact, you know for a fact that 98% of the people that work at TYT love TYT and try to stay there forever and ever and ever. Sometimes they'll go to a different company and go, whoa, holy shit, that's bad, and come back to TYT. So please be fair and honest with your audience, because working at TYT has been amazing for those people. And all we're getting is smeared by a couple of people who literally say, we want to tear down the network. We got 75 people here that we have to provide for. And they're trying to take food off their table because me, I'm going to tear down the left-wing network. Why don't you spend your time, those people that I'm talking about, tearing down the right wing, tearing down Trump, tearing down all these people, instead of sitting there and going, oh, someone on the left is bigger than me. I'm going to tear them down. And that's what they're doing.
You sure this MAGA who's going through the Civil War, guys? Because it sounds pretty bad.
And Franny, what you're not seeing is there's so many people on the left who are afraid to state their real opinions because they're going to get shellacked online. All the far left is going to come out and call them a right winger and a fascist, etc. They're so scared to actually state their own opinions because the far left has so much more power than they realize.
Guys, these people are just eating their own. This is something that it should be pretty much well known that's, again, there's a reason why, since probably I started this channel, I've been calling them the radical left, the authoritarian left, the tyrannical left, because this is how they operate. The second you say anything, he made this point earlier. He mentioned the 5%. You're 5% off. You're a MAGA. I read the comments for this video, for this podcast, and a bunch of people in the comments were saying that he's MAGA, he's right wing, he's grifting, all of these things.
Because you're a fighter, man. That's cool. That's great. But like, you really do have a very I almost want to call it Bush-like, Cheney-like, you're with us or against us attitude.
100% wrong.
Like you just literally, I love that you're proving my point. But when I say this, you truly, you sound like people are either against you, but if they criticize you, they are not. And yet, here you are, Cenk, telling the entire right wing that all you want to do is break bread with them, that you want to debate with them, but afterward you want to go have a beer.
Yes, I do.
You want to have a beer with people who want to put people in mass deportation camps. They want to deport.
You think we're going to get put in camps? You sound... All right, anyway.
You think I sound crazy? They're starting with Chinese people. That's my fucking family, dog. Like, what are you talking about?
That's such an excuse. Okay, they're going to start with Muslims. They're going to start with my people. Okay,
sure. Yeah.
Stop hiding behind vulnerable communities.
I'm hiding behind vulnerable communities.
Yes, you are. You're using them as
standing in front of vulnerable communities, Cenk. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm in front of vulnerable communities. I'm the most endangered, friend.
By tweeting at Elon Musk? Please, don't help me. Come on, Cenk. This is so sad. That's so sad.
Let's take
it down. Let's simmer down. No. Simmer down. I'm asking. Let me just ask you real honest.
This. You see why you can't take people on the left seriously. This lady saying, "Oh my gosh, they're gonna go after the Chinese."
To God.
You already said 12 things that I need to respond to. Can I respond to them?
No, I want to ask you this one question.
Of course not.
Let's talk about you going on these
because
shows.
They don't want to hear anything. They just want to beat them up. They just want to wow. They just want to give them the uppercut, like the Mike Tyson treatment verbally. They want to abuse him, proving his point. This is so stupid.
Just simmer down. Let me ask you one question. Imagine if Kamala Harris had won. Okay, she wins. She wins the popular vote.
She
wins
She did.
obviously the electoral college. Incredible, first female president, blah, 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 all this stuff. And Tucker Carlson started making all these rounds on like really like progressive leftist shows, went on Kyle's show, went on my show. I'm like, who the hell? You know, started reaching out and wanting to talk and wanting to come to agreement.
The difference here is that the right hasn't gone off the rails. The left has. Drag queen story time, transing kids, open borders. These people have gone crazy. There's nothing on the right that's like that. What are they going to say? Insurrection? Guys, that whole thing is practically made up. People went into the Capitol, yes, but even to say that they stormed the Capitol isn't even factually true because that literally didn't happen. They protested outside the Capitol originally until they were provoked and they opened the doors for them to go in.
On things. What would that look like to you?
Yeah, it would look like Tucker was trying to reach out. Tucker's a bad example because I would be surprised if he did that. But okay, yeah, no problem.
What would it look like to you?
Though? I wouldn't. And do I think that Tucker would be selling out? No, there's no chance.
No. Well, I'm not. It's not even. It's not about selling out. What would that like? What would it just seem like? Hey, man, we can agree. Yeah, you know what? I did say that Kamala Harris was a DEI hire and she's basically a communist, but now I just feel like I've antagonized you and I'm here to like break bread and let's talk and let's get stuff done. What would that look like to you?
It's called moving on because who you supported lost and you don't have a choice but to get along with who is coming into power now.
It would look surprising, but I wouldn't care. I'd find it interesting. Why? What does it look like to you?
I mean, to me, if Tucker Carlson did that, I'd be like, oh, we fucking won. We won like crazy. We won so resoundingly. He's doing an apology tour because 3 ghosts visited him in the middle of the night and he's completely changed his tune because he wants to throw down with the winners. We are crushing it. And I saw in that moment, you want me to play it for you?
You see how weak of a mentality this is like how children think. This is not how mature adults think. This is like all ego and hubris talking. This is so ridiculous.
When Charlie Kirk goes, "We're glad Cenk's here, everybody." And that was the feeling that I think a lot of right wingers have when they look at you, Cenk, where they're like, "Damn, yo, we crushed so hard. Even this guy is turning now." Yeah,
except I'm not turning. I've said it 2,000 times.
I'm just saying what it would look like. I'm just saying what it would look.
You keep saying it like it's true when it isn't remotely true. But okay, let me address it. So, okay, number one, you're empirically wrong because guess what's happening? Matt Gaetz has reached out to us, Tucker Carlson, to come on our shows. And so it's your exact analogy, okay? Patrick Bet-David, et cetera, and they won. They're still trying to come on the Young Turks. Why? Because they're trying to have a conversation, not because they want to do an apology tour. Cool. They think they are ascendant, but nevertheless, they want to talk to the left.
But you had to make it's because they think that
your version of the left says, no way, we never talk to the other side. But we're not authoritarian.
Jake, that's not true.
We're not authoritarian. You're not allowed to disagree 1%, but we're not authoritarian. We have no power, so we're not authoritarian. So that's not how it works, Franny. And the establishment Democrats are also authoritarian. So what do they say? You must agree with Kamala Harris, otherwise that's it. You're a heretic and you'll be driven out from the party. You know that. The establishment Democrats have done that to us for the last 20 years. Don't tell me that there's no power on the left. There's tons of power on the left. And when the swarm comes, the left-wing swarm, you'd like to be called a woman. You're racist, fascist, transphobe. What? I'm not authoritarian. No, that is an authoritarian mindset. You don't have to have power to have an authoritarian mindset. And there's different versions of power. There's the shunning power. There's social media power. There's mainstream media power. There's political power. There's all sorts of different power. So look, guys, the left, first of all,
there's also just money and actual power.
It gets back to the we. So you ask me politically, who do I represent? I represent the great majority of left-wing voters. The great majority of left-wing voters are not pro-establishment. They get tricked by mainstream media into voting in that direction. It drives me absolutely nuts. But when you ask them about policies, they agree with us completely on policies, right? And the great majority of left-wing voters are not far left. They think a woman should be called a woman. And I'm not saying that in some dismissive way. I'm in favor of trans rights. If you want to be called a birthing person, we love it. We got no problem with it. You be called a birthing person. But when you say no, we call everyone a birthing person, America hates it. Left-wing voters hate it. When you pretend there's no crime, left-wing voters hate it. So I'm standing up for the overwhelming majority of Democratic voters and left-wing voters.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Authoritarian sides of the left saying you're not allowed to disagree with the establishment. You're not allowed to disagree with the extreme left. No, I am allowed. I am allowed.
Ooh, I'm glad we won, guys. Ooh, I'm glad we got to humble people like this. Like, this was so freaking ridiculous. This is what a real civil war looks like. Not Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Nothing is literally happening at all there. As a matter of fact, Trump and Musk agree on everything. But with this is chaos. This is crazy. This is hysteria. And it's a bunch of nonsense. It's like politics with little kids. And it's unfortunate that the legacy news media and the politicians at the top have allowed it to get to this point because they're so hungry for power. But I think that at the end there, Cenk cooked her and made her look like a fool because everything that he said was correct. This is definitely a red pill moment for Cenk. And even though he's an unhinged lunatic, I think that when it comes to stuff like this, in terms of how radical the left is and how they're turning people off and why they inevitably lost, I mean, the main reason they lost is because of the economy, but stuff like all the trans stuff and the open border stuff and the crime stuff certainly does not help. But these are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
That, like, there is no crime and on and on and on, right? No, I'm not going to be purposely wrong. And so I'm not going to do audience capture, and I'm not going to say that. And so how could I be a grifter and say at the same time, I'm willing to sacrifice a lot of money that I'm super worried about for all of us at TYT to do the right thing? That's the exact opposite of grifting. That's saying I'm standing on principle.